Hi friends, strangers, internet. My name is EmilyHanhan. I love colorful makeup and colorful language. I am here today and I'm doing my intro with my makeup on, which I know I don't always do. I know not everyone's into being spoiled at the beginning of the video, but that's okay. You will survive because I don't know, because I'm excited about this video and I like the concept. So today I'm going to walk you through my makeup uniform if I had a makeup uniform. I know. So here's the thing. A couple months ago, my friend here on the YouTubes, T, the Nappy Headed Jehovah, did a video in collaboration with Mel Thompson and Kelsey Brianna J, where they talked through, or they walked through their makeup uniform, their go-to makeup that they will wear when they don't want to think about it, or just every day. Whatever it is for them. Whatever you connotate with uniform, you can think about it that way. And I thought it was a great idea. And I think I left a comment on T's video like, oh, this is lovely, and like, I could see myself doing this even though I don't fully, that's not really how I approach makeup. And it's been in the back of my head since then, and I've kind of had an idea of the kind of makeup I would show. But then recently, my friend Alex, Sincerely Alex Makeup on Instagram, has started this open tag and this concept about work appropriate rainbow. Now, I could rant for days about how women and femme and non-binary people's bodies are policed when it comes to work appropriate and the level of what we have to present versus men. But that's not the point of today. Although if you would like a get ready with me talking about that, I could do that in the future. Let me know. Leave me a comment. I also, in all these also things, recently had to have a Zoom call for a work thing. And I don't have to do those very often. I've been very lucky in that way. My social anxiety stuff was flaring up, and it was early, but I was up early enough where I was like, you know what? Woosah, we're gonna do some makeup. And I did a version of this look, basically. And I was like, I fucking love this look. I feel like a bad bitch. I feel so like cute and pretty and happy with my makeup, and it just reminded me that like, oh yeah, I do have a makeup uniform that I like to go to when I don't know what I want to wear. So I thought for the work appropriate rainbow collaboration that I would claim Peach. I mean, I'm not claiming it. Anybody can do it. And I know Peach is not in Roy G. Biv, but the rainbow is all colors in my book. And it's also a way for me to show you my makeup uniform, the kind of go-to steps, products, techniques that I love to do, even though I'm the kind of person that's always exploring and pulling out colors and playing and mixing and layering. If I just want to get out the door, if I was working that kind of job again, if I had Zoom calls more often, this would be the look. And if you like weirdness, cute fat babes in general, lots of makeup opinions and opinions about other things going on in the world, you should go and subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, you should go follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Perhaps check out my Patreon or my YouTube membership in the description box. And on that weird note, we're going to jump into this work appropriate rainbow peach look, aka my makeup uniform. Let's talk the first step of my makeup uniform, or what would be kind of go-to. And this is a bit of a new thing for me, but in a lust for that auric glow lust, which is out of stock currently, I've been mixing the VDL Lumiere with the Charlotte Tilbury Spotlight Highlighting Wand to create a glowy base product that is a little bit more cool tone than this, but a little bit more glowy than this. Sometimes I mix it directly on my face, and other times I mix it on a little palette. Today we're going to mix it on a palette. And I'm probably doing about 2 parts of the VDL to 1 part of the highlighting, the liquid highlighter, but it probably changes every time I do this. You just kind of mix it up on the spatula. And I more or less put it all over, but I especially want to focus it on areas that I'm going to be glowing up or blushing up anyway. Now I put my skincare on a little while ago. Oh, it's been a couple of hours, but I like how that gives me a little moisture and a little bit of extra glow. And I have a concealer that we're going to use to spot conceal. Sometimes I've done this in the opposite order, where I will conceal and then do the glowy product. One of the main reasons why sometimes I will want to put the concealer down first and then the glowy product is that sometimes I will conceal in spaces where I put the glowy base down. But for those spaces, like I would say underneath my nose, sometimes on my nose, and a little bit right by my brow bone, I just really buff it in so that there's a little bit of coverage, but it doesn't go so matte or so full coverage. The most concealers I like to let sit under my eyes for a little bit of time. And I really like this Zoeva brush, but there's also a Midas face brush that I like for this step as well. Now I am all about highlighter and then blush. I really like having almost a blank canvas to glow everything up and then go in layers. For me, I really like green highlighters, but I've recently picked up, this is Cloverfield from Pretties for Your Face, and it reads golden in the pan, but there's something about having it on my face that I feel like it pulls just green enough that it kind of satisfies that feeling for me. Now, something nice about the concept of like a makeup uniform is that I also think of it as like a base. So if I put the rest of my makeup on and I'm just like, oh, that does feel a little bit more gold than I want it to feel, then I will go in and kind of like spot highlight with something that's more green. But I think the thing with this highlighter that I really like is it's almost like it's like an acid green gold. I don't know. But I don't like white gold highlighters on me, really. It's not my preferred color choice. If I want something that reads more neutral, I really like more icy pink colors. But this one is like just green enough to satisfy my green fantasies. And as you can see, like I like to put it on and buff it. I bring it down onto the apples of my cheeks. It lets me highlight my brow bone, my nose, you know, it basically goes almost everywhere. I've been dabbling in cream blushes. I definitely have appreciation for them, but if I'm gonna reach for something over and over and over again, I want formulas that I know and that I love and that I trust and that I also find that are adjustable. And it's still the Cover FX blushes for me. There are so many colors from this line. Actually, there's not so many colors, but there are a few colors from this line that I could consider go-tos. But Soft Peach is the one. And the adjustable, kind of customizable part of it is the matte and the shimmer. So I like to go in with the matte first. And a color like this, I can use a big ass bronzer brush. And it's like really fast and beautiful. And I will contour, like warm up my face too. And sometimes if I haven't decided if I want to blush my nose, I'll go in and do the shimmer part first. So that it could be worse. The klutz strikes again. But speaking of the shimmer, I'm gonna put some shimmer on my cheeks and then decide how I want to do the nose area. So I find both sides of the blush pigmented, but sometimes if I am looking at my nose and trying to decide how I want to do with my blush, I will go into just the shimmer. Obviously I'm using the same brush, but and just use it. I can really go hard with the blush, but I'm gonna stop here for now, and as the look progresses, if I decide I want more blush, I'll go with it. One reason why I adore this formula is that the matte formula for me works on my eyes too. So if I was feeling like going a little bit more blush drapey or a little bit more monochromatic, I would just like take this blush in the crease and even do that like really connected blush look. But I want to show you what I love to do, just like bar none. The technique that I love to do, that's like my favorite thing, that would be the thing that I would come back to over and over and over again for a makeup uniform, is to take a duochrome or even a multichrome and take it from lash line to brow bone. And one of my favorite formulas, or I love when either the formula is sheer enough where it looks like it's my skin, but it's multichrome, or it's the right tone or the right color family that I can do that. For me, I think peachy tones in particular do that really well, but I would say so would probably golden beigey tones as well. Anyway, the color that's currently the top, tippy top of like perfect colors for that is from the Adept Plain Jane palette, and it is ACI 7. So ACI 7 is, I would say, a peach to green duochrome, but it has this sheerness. You know what? I'm just gonna put it on. I have been using my Fiorne Pixie Epoxy like all the time, but you could also use glitter glue from NYX. I need a base for my eye shape, so that's what I'm gonna do. I mean, I need like a sticky base. And then I know I've talked about it before, I do really like my Rephr 21 brush for like all shimmers, but I have to say this Coastal Scents brush, the BRCO8, I believe that's what it is still one of my favorites for shimmers, especially for this kind of application. And I've had this brush for years, and they're so affordable. Oh, wait. And I'll just like make a bit of a V shape. And I kind of like, not kind of, I really like basically where you can't tell where the eyeshadow ends and the highlight begins. That is a technique that my friend Alex, who I'm mentioning at the beginning of this video, does, and they do it so well. They will pick a color and just do this whole look and then use it as the highlighter. So they're really creating like a C shape and then do a wing or something. But so like I know the Iridescent Chameleons from Terra Moon are some of their favorites, and they have a bit of a smoother, some of them have a bit of a smoother formula, whereas this like Adept ACI texture, I will definitely use it as a highlighter, but I also understand why people would not necessarily like that. It's kind of like with the Divina Sugar Drops. They have a similar, some of those have similar effects as the Iridescent Chameleons, or I would say generally that line has a similar effect, but they have a more glittery texture. So I kind of like how this greenish highlighter just kind of picks up the reflect and carries it down without being the same shadow. But an Iridescent Chameleon or something in that formula could do a similar effect. For me, that reflect, the peachy tone with that bright green reflect and just like the tiniest bit of pinky, almost depth to this shadow. Oh, I'm not the kind of person that hits pan in a lot of things. I have a feeling I'm gonna hit some pan on this shadow probably soon. So yeah, so that's like a very, very simple eye. Now without brows or mascara or anything, I look kind of alien-esque, but I feel like the brows and the mascara is gonna pull it all together. I'm going to use a Guess Style brow gel that I've been enjoying lately. I like it because of the brush and the color. It's a little bit more cool tone, but if you've been around here before, I love the CoverGirl brow gel as well if you're looking for something drugstore. For lashes, sometimes I go super, super lightweight, like the Holly Pop mascara from Holika Holika, another Guess Style acquisition. But I think today I want to use the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash, which is still minimal for a lot of people, and it's not quite as intense as the Essence Waterproof Lash Princess, but it's still, for me, a little bit beefier. And actually, with this kind of look, with some eyeshadow looks, when I go more intense on the actual eye look, the really super skimpy effect of this is totally perfect. I kind of like that I've gone in almost a little bit messier with the Extended Play, where it gives me that dimension and depth to my eye that a liner or a tight line from the waterline or some kind of shading would give, but I don't have to use another product. So that's also like one of my favorite things about this concept is like, okay, how few products can I use without being disappointed at how boring the final outcome is? Speaking of using the same products, I'm going to pop some of my face highlighter on my inner corner just to bring a little bit something else to the eye. So that's my eyes basically done. Like, I don't feel like I'm missing a liner, whether it's a wing or a waterline. Like, I just feel like it just feels fresh. Like I said, in not a boring way. There's a lot of makeup out there that bores me. But I am feeling like I kinda want to amp up my blush just a little bit more. This time I dabbed into both the matte and the shimmer and then knocked off. That's more me. Okay. I'm feeling good about how this is all coming together. Now for lips. Formula, it's probably not, the formula choice is not going to surprise any of my old fans. I don't know what I'm saying. I love like a creamy, glossy lip situation in a tube. Now I have the Fenty Slip Shine in Glazed Up and the Cosmetics Lip Cushion in Magic Hour. I think Glazed Up is gonna be the right tone, but sometimes I like to mix them if I want a little bit more of the pink that's in Magic Hour. But let me just try with Glazed Up because this is favorite. Like, they both have a great formula. They're both comfortable, with a nice color payoff, but they don't parch my lips that are perpetually dry and oftentimes have like, anyway, they don't do that for me. I really love this Fenty one when I've kind of built it up, and it started to warm up on the tube and on my lips, so you get this like plush effect. And I always carry it a little bit or a lot like on the edge of my lip, and there's just something about, for me, this color and this formula that just make me feel like the baddest bitch. And this color isn't quite as peachy as the makeup, but it's also not quite as pink as the Cosmetics one. So I feel like neither one of them is like the perfect match. I'm gonna put just a little, I'm just being extra. That probably made minimal to no difference, but that's okay. They're both really lovely formulas. I think I'm still mostly partial to Fenty, but I only have one of each, so I don't have much to judge on. But that, I think that is, you know what? I'm not particularly, like, I'm not gonna wear a wig to work or to a Zoom call or anything like that, but I kind of want to dress it up with my most like work appropriate basic bitch wig. So let me put her on. Let me brush her out. Let me brush her out and put her on, and then we'll do a little outro and call this thing done. I really hope the reflection and shine that I see in person comes across on camera, because ACI 7 from Adept is just magic. Okay. So that is the finished look. This is the closest thing I would call to like my makeup uniform, my like work go-to look. I said this before, it's not boring for me, but it's quick. It's something I can put together pretty easily. The products that I use wear nicely. Like, I don't have to worry about how this blush wears on me. I don't have to worry about the concealer or the eye base that I've used, or, you know, having a lip product that I don't feel comfortable reapplying. Like, I can reapply either one of these without a mirror practically. Same with like a clear or barely tinted gloss. So I like having these equations, these baseline concepts, and being able to swap in different colors, different textures. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see a video talking about some of my favorite kind of like one and done shadows, because I've seen those videos coming out here and there with the creators that I watch, but I sometimes feel like the same kinds of colors are talked about a lot, whereas I am like, there are actually quite a few shades in the plain Jane that I would probably use that way, and there are just a lot of single shadows that I could talk about. So let me know if you would like to see that video. Actually, leave a sparkle emoji, this emoji, leave it in the comments to let me know if you want to see it. And don't forget to take care of yourself better today than you did yesterday. I will talk to you all very soon. Bye, friends.